We are live. All right. Let me steal from just about everyone. Bear with me. Welcome to a Candor Gander, streaming 6 feet below the pit of despair. Coming to you from lovely San Diego to talk about DFK today, baby. Grab a drink, take a seat, and pull up your notepad because it's office hours with your host, Sergeant Filthy McNasty. All right, let's get one of these here. Let's get. Wait, it's not good if it. Yeah. There we go. We'll get one of those in there too. All right, guys, let's get this sucker started. Koopa knows how to make an entrance. He just made it like right now. Wow, what a saga! What a day for Mr. Cooper. He used all his Koopa karmic energy to make it to us today. We've got a stack lineup full of chads and studs here, ladies and gentlemen. We got Mr. Brown Gent coming to us from the Great White North. We got Mr. Matty P. Esquire, Matty Pass, coming to us from East Coast, Washington, D.C. Sir Worm coming to us from not quite sure. Maybe he'll let us know here soon. Christian Peter, welcome. Newest addition to the team. Crypto fucking creative. Let me show up and I work for Cryptos R Us now. Look at that. Look at me. And Mr. Kupo coming to you from the great state of New Jersey. Welcome everybody. How you guys all been? It's been a minute since I think the collective us have gathered here. We've got Koopa and Sir Worm here who are new, but how are you all doing?
It's been way too long, my man. I love you. I miss you guys. I miss you. What the heck? Brown Gent, baby. Matty Pesk. Let's go. Koopo. Sir Worm. KP. Miss you guys. My body's in shock right now.
Hey.
Workout.
Sarge, as I said in the chat, I have several cease and desists for that opening was stealing stuff from a lot of different people, and you were in big trouble. Okay, so you were in big trouble. That's all I have to say.
Take it up with my law firm or my lawyers at Surf and Turf. I guess you're part of that. You and Sticks intern, Surf and Turf. Yeah. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Brown Jen, you just got back from Dubai not too long ago, and are you under the weather? I think I hear some behind the scenes coughing here, bro.
Yeah, a little bit. I've been traveling a ton. In fact, I just accepted a job in Zurich, so I will be moving to Europe soon. But I'll still be, DFK. I don't say maxi, but my version of maxi, which is not like blind all in, whatever. But I just have one question: can we see Grady's guns? Yeah, I've seen you posting a ton of workout videos.
Yeah, baby.
I will tell you. The body's coming back, baby. GQ is coming back. It's like a drastic difference from week to week to week. It's intense.
What are you deadlifting now?
I have no idea. See, I'm trying to not bulk up. I'm trying to go cardio, get my ass in shape, and that's been a monster. If I lift heavy, look out. I'll just get massive. So, don't want to do that for the fight.
Hulk.
The Hulk.
Gotta wreck them.
The Hulk's coming out, baby. When the fight comes, gonna bust out the Hulk. It's pure rage. Let's go, baby.
Before we even get started with anything, reintroductions are due because you guys have all been busy doing your own things, being successful, being awesome, being cool dudes, taking breaks, traveling, doing your own things. Brown Gent moving to Zurich. Maddie, you guys just came back from a hiatus. You want to tell us about that? What's the deal? What's going on? Welcome back, baby.
Yeah, no, I'll jump in here. So Bogside Chats is like a podcast my two of my best friends, Franz and Guy Kidd, started. And also I was told I need to give a shout out to Bogside Intern, and I don't know if I can say his real name, but he's part of the team. He's a big part of the team. But we took a little break, and I think, I don't know, just like on a basic level, I think it's important to like just kind of take a reset every once in a while. I think I'm very much like when, like constantly. And so like we kind of needed a quick timeout, and we did, and now we're back like reinvigorated. So I'm very happy to be talking about DFK and doing stuff like this. And I think also it's important to kind of do stuff like that. Like, hey, like maybe stop for a bit, take a minute. Like, I don't know. But yeah, we love talking about DFK. And I'm so glad to be here chatting with these people. I haven't chatted with some of you guys in a while, so I'm very excited.
It's been a hot, sexy minute, Sir Worm. Bro, you're streaming like every day for the next at least 30 days here, doing some huge giveaways. As a matter of fact, I won a huge giveaway, which we're rolling over. Sir Worm was like, "How do you want that?" I was like, "I want that given away like someone here on the stream." So what's going on, bro? What are you doing?
Yeah, like you said, I'm doing 30 days of giveaways inspired by Mark Cookie and Kirakua. Like Kirakua was, running the repeat of the Basket of Hope Christmas giveaway on the DFK server, and said I want to do something. And then I saw Mark Cookie was gonna hatch 2 eggs every day. Just posted on X, not Twitter. So I said, like, I want to do something similar. So I did my own little twist, and I was going to do one of each egg a day, one to give to the DFK giveaway, and one on my stream, and selfishly keep the third. So
I must say, in true giveaway fashion, I think the first egg you hatched was a mythic something. What was it?
It was a mythic pet. It was a mythic butterfly. 9-star butterfly.
Shit, I should have started my giveaway after that one.
And it went all downhill ever since. I haven't gotten a mythic yet.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. No one's asked me about my hat yet, but let me tell you guys a quick story. I showed up. I show up here. Meet Bola, and I show up at his hotel, and he texts me. He's like, "Hey, I'm in my room. I'll be down in a minute." He comes down, and then he tells me, "Hey, I've got a package for you. You want to come up to my room with me?" One thing led to another, and I come down from the room with a hat on my head. Don't believe me, Christian Peter was watching. He was there. Christian, how you doing?
Fantastic, Sarge. It's been a great couple of weeks here. I mean, it's fun. I think this is my first stream with Sir Worm, so love you, brother. I love the beanie, and I love the bloater in the background. That's super cool. People are moving and shaking now. It's great. I mean, we had a great meetup, DFK meetup. By the way, Sarge, we got to go back to the Battle Mage. Yes, got to make that a weekly habit. I mean, that's got to be when anybody's in San Diego and they want to hang out at the Battle Mage Brewery. In fact, Brown Gent, we were thinking of you because tons of Magic the Gathering cards all over the walls. Super cool place to hang out, drink some beers, and play a board game. So excited to do that at some point here in the near future. But yeah, it's been an amazing couple of weeks. I mean, December's here, guys. Can you believe it? We've made it all the way through 2023 already. We're into the halving year next year. Woo! A lot of you thought we weren't going to make it through this, and it's almost, there's light at the end of the tunnel. But I'll pass it back to you because I want to hear from Grady and Kupo and what's going on with these guys as well.
If you didn't catch Grady's stream, he had a huge announcement. I'll let him spill his beans, although I think I did that already. Grady, what are you up to these days?
Yeah, the last day and a half has been head spinning wild. So helping George with Cryptos RS Plus. So obviously we're doing the fight. Dreamer is doing the fight, baby, and lots is coming from that already. Okay, so much to catch up on. We could go on for a long time about everything going on. But already also, and with Christian Peter, as you guys know, we are trying to launch the gaming part, but it's insane trying to put out the content, do all the video editing, and George is bullheaded particular with it. But we're figuring out, we're making it happen for the street interviews. And finally, the first episode was launched. So I'm a host on Cryptos RS Plus, along with Joshua Jake. And so there's a lot that's fallen through on that. So don't feel bad, KP. So like 15 people have fallen through in that. So currently there's 2. There's me and Joshua Jake. Okay. And I've been working on doing the basic editing, different things. I think we got a solid game plan for that. So that was exciting. And I'm always chatting with George, always talking with George. I'm always getting on to him when he says wrong things on his streams or just different things like George. Like a lot of times it was
good
around DeFi kingdoms. And so like tokenomics and things like that, for example. Well, and so, but sometimes I'll just send him some of the buzz or the tea, the gossip, you know, what people are talking about out there. And I'll just message him like, hey, and just help him with ideas for content for his streams and different things. And finally, yesterday, he's like, Grady, I'm just going to hire you to help me with the streams. So he has a team. Josh is his main right-hand man. He also has Davitola Scott. And then he's got 2 other research people that are hot and heavy. And so all the time and effort that goes in to his streams is insane. My mind is blown. And so he just needs more eyes out there of what's going on out there in the world. And also he wants to do more deep dives into altcoins and lower cap altcoins, dropping alpha, finding good project with good teams, good fundamentals. And so I'm now hired on with Cryptos RS, helping him with his streams, also with IFC, the Influencers Fight Club. I'm like his kind of main representative now. I've taken over the Twitter. So you might find that I'm liking all of your guys' stuff and following you guys, trying to build up that Twitter page.
Get George to follow us. I mean, hey, I'm just saying, small ask. I can't do this justice, but I'll let you do justice to yourself.
Baby.
Wait.
Baby! Yes! I love you!
There you go. See, throwing it back at you.
There it is, right there. So right off the bat, George is trying to set it up to get me on with Altcoin Daily Show to talk about IFC and Karate Combat. And Dreamer, yesterday I talked to him for a long time, and he's like, dude, get me on there too. So
do it.
Who knows? You never know. You never know. We're working on stuff. Okay. All right. I think that covers most of it there.
I will, and we'll come back to you, Grady. Don't you go nowhere. We have shout outs to chat here. We've got Emerson Skiller, Dr. J, which we got to meet here in San Diego. Affinity Lotus Films. We've got Swiss Crypto Guy. Welcome. Mellow Green Giant. Welcome. Jared's here. Shout out. Kupo. Welcome back. We've got some plans. Hopefully we end up streaming some more, you and I, here in the near future. But how are you doing? I know it's been a rough day. You were, you weren't sure if you're gonna make it. You made it, hanging out with some pretty cool peeps over there. I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about the cool peeps there. How you doing, Kupo?
Doing good, Sarge. Yeah, I barely made it. I was getting pretty close to the wire here. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it in time. Everything just kind of worked out. So I'm actually kind of happy to be here. Grady, like I've been following your stuff with Dreamer and everybody. I tell you, I'm like hooked on your stuff. So I'm actually thrilled to actually hear that you're part of the whole team and the concept now. We got a little bit more Grady going on. Got a little more George going on. I mean, this is just going to be great. I just can't wait. So much happening here. I did see the Worms also giveaway thing with the Mythic. So that was pretty awesome. Baby. And it's very generous of you also, Worm.
Yeah, baby.
Sarge, I'm actually very excited to start doing some of those additional segments with you as well. So I can't wait till we get those started. And honestly, I'm just really happy to be with everybody here tonight. KP, I know we've been together before. couple of the other guys we've hosted before, so I'm actually really glad to be part of this little group here that we can all just chat and just shoot the breeze.
I love it. We'll go ahead and segue away to some questions before we segue. Let me get a segue clip in here.
So here's the deal. This fight is going to be epic. I'm going to destroy that fool. Going to destroy him.
You need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because
Grady's coming to town. That's what's happening. Grady, unless you all have been hiding under a rock lately, DFK's been doing some interesting things on Twitter, Dreamer specifically. People are talking about DFK a bit more. For those of you who have been hiding under a rock, here's a quick sort of clip for some examples, and we can talk a bit more about this here in a second.
I also want to touch base on DeFi Kingdoms, ladies and gentlemen. I know this is not a Cardano project, but this is one that I've taken an interest in lately. And this is...
They made it look like a game, but that finally has changed after talking with the team. Dreamer and Bolan and everyone else, right? They finally get it.
Like Icy's like, Doug, sometimes you're a little bit too much, so we're going to bring it down a little bit, and we're going to move it over to Dreamer, okay? We're going to talk to Dreamer right now. And Dreamer, you have just decided...
Why do I get reverse hype?
Why does Doug give Dreamer reverse hype? And huge shout out to Doug Hype Spaces. They're pretty legit. If you haven't had the opportunity to catch one of those live, the rewinds are great too. I think that specific episode, you had about 1,000 people tune in total. But DFK marketing. I'll start with you, Brown Gent. You're a marketing guru, and I know all of us here, to some extent or another, we were all on the DFK needs to do more train. Are you hot or cold on what they've been doing, Brown Jet?
I'll be honest. I wish I took a break like Maddie did, because the best way to summarize this is my wife watches a ton of shows where people are successful, and she recently turns to me and goes, "And you've been spending all your time in DeFi Kingdom. What is wrong with you?" Right? And this is all despite the stuff that happens in real life for me. But all seriousness, I just found myself spending too much time in the game. And most recently, you probably noticed I haven't made as many videos. It doesn't mean I don't support DeFi Kingdoms. But let me tell you, something I was super hot on was really their launch of Mad Boar Hunts. It got to a point where I'd only log in every 3 days. And for those of you who own Gen Zeros, you'll understand why, right? Because you want to summon every 3 days. But with the Mad Boar Hunts, I'm actually logging in at least once a day to play those, try different strategies out and everything else. Hopefully get some items. I got really lucky a few days ago, hit 2 gore items back to back, which is, I've been told to buy lottery tickets. Don't know if it's that lucky, but still, it's bringing me back. And I think that's really cool because it's part of the game, right? It's no longer arbitrage opportunity. It's not me trading, flipping, whatever. I'm actually playing something. So that is the first step in many. I think that's a really good move on their part.
Oh no! Hey, and you're spot on. It's a first step of many. Maddie, you took a break. You came back and you're seeing some of these things happening. Is it what the fuck happened? What's going on? Why are people? What's the deal? What's going on? I mean, are you hot or cold on this? Are you impressed? Are you not? Can they do more? Tell us.
No. This is all awesome. These aren't my hobbies. MMA is not something I'm into. But go for it. I'm all for it. If it increases the pull to DFK, that's awesome. Go for it. I mean, it seems like Dreamer has a little bit of a background in some of this, but also I don't want him to get hurt. I don't know. I don't. I Grady. I'm very confident. Grady's whatever you do, I got your back. I support you and I believe you. But I feel like Dreamer's yeah, I'll do this, and I'm no, don't just don't volunteer if you're if you're not into it. But yeah, no, like I think it's all great, and I think if it brings attention to the game, it brings attention to the the whole ecosystem. That's awesome. I love it.
DFK needs to ensure Dreamer is what I'm hearing, or Kingdom Studios needs to ensure Dreamer is what I'm hearing.
Dreamer's safety is like utmost importance to me personally, because like.
And it's interesting how hey, we want everyone on the team to be safe, but I know for the longest time it was Fox and Dreamer, then Workhorse, and and now we just all want them in some sort of bubble. I get it, but
honestly, Dreamer's like an Adonis of a human. Like he's like perfect. Like I can't have him like. Don't hit him in the face. His face is the moneymaker. Come on, like come on.
Factual. So Grady's gonna spill some alpha. Ben Armstrong is fighting who again? I'm just kidding. I don't.
He is fighting, and they found the person.
They did okay, and that person
dropped out. I'm putting my hand up. I really want that one.
I know that you and like 50 others of us, including some of the fighters. One of the fighters in particular isn't hesitant to absolutely talk shit on Ben right in the IFC fighter group chat with George, and it gets a little awkward sometimes in there.
Hey, Grady, make Ben Armstrong, Gary Gensler happen, and we're not gonna know who to root for on that one. Grady, marketing. You're partly to blame, and I say that because you made the connections between George and Crypto Crow, and you've done others. I think I heard you, or I heard down that somewhere along the lines, all these connections are happening. People are chatting. He's not. You're seeing him having these these conversations with people, but he's talking to a lot more content creators that we're not aware of.
Yes, and so let me drop some alpha. You want some alpha? So yesterday, George's DeFi Kingdoms came out of nowhere for me because we were talking all about Avalanche and subnets, some of the games that Alex Becker was talking about, different things like that. And then boom, he pulled that out. That stream went way different than the plan. Okay, than the summary. So afterwards, it opened a door of like bazookas at George's face, multiple bazookas of all of the DeFi Kingdoms magic. And I blasted away at him. And then today again, and the result was, I think I'm gonna go buy some Jewel. So he's about to go buy up a bunch of Jewel.
Hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. Everyone's money's welcome here. We don't.
Yes. And so we went deeper into the weeds with it, and other projects too, other things going, what other people are saying. And so that, man, it's been so awesome. So it's been an absolute 180. So let me make it clear. Dreamer has made an absolute 180 when it comes to, he is so active out there on socials. He's doing things like getting on Doug's spaces. He's done it every single week. And it's a grind. He is all over the place, very active. Before he wasn't, and it makes a world of difference. So just him doing the fight, it's opened the door. Crow's been talking with Dreamer. It's been an absolute 180. And also in my conversations with him, he's given me a lot of time to just get a lot of stuff off my chest on him. And he has been awesome and humble, and big 180 with Bolon. So on a few things, and he's just, man. And I seen a massive change. It's really helped revive my excitement for the project when we see guys like Crow, and he's not getting paid to do that, which is weird. It's a lot of weird stuff. The deeper I get into this influencer sphere world, there's a lot of people that will literally just say, if they'll pay me, I'll talk about it. And that's actually the norm. That's the norm. And so when guys like Crypto Crow just wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's just like, he just talks about what he has conviction on. And so it's so refreshing. And that is a whole ecosystem that has zero exposure to DeFi Kingdoms.
And can we talk about the, you said 180 and it's absolutely there. For those of you who know, there's that, Zach, and I forget his full Twitter name. He brought up some potential FUD, calling the project sketchy, and he did what he did. I
got a little pissed off today. I probably overstated what I said.
Well,
he was Dog and Dragons Crossing. My heart's broken there.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll save that for the after show.
Yeah.
But
I got so much to say about that.
I was gonna say, is Project gonna jump in here, or
we'll save it. We'll save it. Course is back. But Dreamer was so quick to react and respond to that tweet calling the project sketchy, and everyone backed him up, so much so that I believe, I'm pretty sure, I have it on good authority that he may have deleted some or part of some of the thread that he had. Point being, Dreamer of a year and a half, 2 years ago, this wasn't him. It would have sat around, it would have festered, and this time around, he jumped on it, and the community had his back. So very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Kupo, I mean, what are your thoughts? The marketing, are you impressed? There's a lot going on. Are you worried? Are you worried Dreamer's gonna get hurt? What are your thoughts? What's going on?
Oh, well, I mean, this guy's been like surfing and skydiving, so I think he could handle a little bit of karate and other type of fun stuff out there. I mean, I'm really excited about all the engagement and stuff like that. He is, wow, like really been blowing up. He's like everywhere. You turn your head, boom, Dreamer's there. Turn it again, he's over there now. Like, he is really like all over the place. I like the engagement he's been doing. He's really been trying to get some communities together, and like even bring up like the whole Zach thing. Like, he didn't even go in with like guns fighting. He just held out his hand and said, "Here, let us talk, and we'll explain everything that you believe that might be sketchy, and we'll clear the area." Like, he never attacked back. He was just very professional. It's like, it's the reason why this guy is like in charge of this stuff, is because he has a way of just engaging with community members. It's just phenomenal. So I'm very happy with the direction that everything's going right now on a personal level.
Sir Worm, I mean, your thoughts? What are you thinking? Are you as hype as I am and as Doug Hype is?
I don't know if I can be as hype or have as much cake as Doug Hype, but
that's right.
But I am definitely very hype. I mean, this has been. I mean, even the negatives have turned positive with Zach today. I mean,
yep.
And it's great to see. I mean, the team is out there. Dreamer is out there. We got Portal going on. I mean, I joined something. I don't even know what it was. I just joined it and just did it. It's like, but it seems to be blowing up. I was just looking at Deck Screener and go like, is that 14 cents? I go like, things are pointing up, and I can't complain. And I just keep buying and summoning heroes, try to get snowmen and snowman masks, and just keep grinding.
There's this pretty awesome comment here in the chat box here. So I think the brown gent. Hey, it's true, right? It's hard to be hyped on something when you see everything else skyrocketing, right? Christian, I mean, I know you're bullish on DFK for a variety of reasons. I think you would say is, don't focus maybe too much on the price, but as far as marketing goes and everything going on, I mean, how do you feel? What are your sentiments?
My sentiments are incredible right now. I mean, behind the scenes, there's just so much going on. I think that Pinecone said it on my stream a couple of weeks ago. When it comes to what Sunbear and Strider have done, it goes unnoticed until it actually comes up. But just what Sir War mentioned right there about Portal Coin, that post alone, that repost has over 2 million views.
Yes,
7,000 retweets, 8,000 comments, and it's all because Portal Coin is giving away an airdrop. And that basically just brings out all the degens on Twitter to do whatever they're told to do. And it was absolutely, in fact, it's still absolutely nuts to me how it's actually got, I think, 5,000 or 6,000 more followers for DFK in just 24 hours. And, you know,
Really?
not that that sentiment has changed. Everything's just been, like Grady said, a complete 180. You know, Dreamer's really focused on his Twitter numbers and his Twitter stats, and he's out there and he's influencing. He finally found out that the public square of Twitter is the best place for PR. And once he found that out, everything has changed. You know, he is out there combating all the FUD, you know, and Zach XBT is a huge presence when it comes to crypto. And what he says, people listen. And so his 500,000 followers, and that was a weird, you know, unpronounced tweet that he put out there. But you're right. You know, Dreamer just took it in stride, said, hey, if you guys want to have a conversation, I'm right here anytime, any place, you know, on your Twitter account, whatever you'd like to do. We're still working. We're still grinding away. It's been 2.5 years of fun, but we're finally getting our feet under us. And it's really pleasant to see. And, you know, to tell you the truth, everybody on the team is absolutely grinding away, looking forward to this. I mean, I know that Second Best Dad put together the snowman heads, and, you know, Beetle Dude made it happen. And these things are just like, you know, they come up and I'm like, wow, that was really cool. Just these nice little sentiments that the team's looking at and saying, hey, we can do this. And it gets guys like Brown Gen who are out there summoning their Gen Zeros every 3 days to say, you know what? I want to get some more of this loot. And I'm there too. I'm grinding away tonight going like, okay, I want some snowman hats. I need at least 3 so that I can put them on my, you know, my guys and go out there and play with them. But I love what they're doing. And there's just so much more that's to come. I mean, it's just like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm just like, wow, we're at the end of the year and, you know, the holidays are upon us and it's Christmas time. So let's enjoy it.
And here's another thing they did that I meant to mention is big. I mean, it's a big step. It's a big statement. They hired Pervy Sage, our boy, and they hired Christian frickin' Peter. Couldn't have been a better hire. I mean, just that alone was like, ooh. I mean, that really caught my attention because, I mean, you're killing it, KP. It's like when that happened, it was like so much changed. It felt like just there's been so much. And I know internally, probably in their own mind, it doesn't feel like a whole bunch of change. But the results, it's just massive 180 type changes going. I'm so pumped.
Whoever pulled the trigger on that Christian Peter move, it kind of a sexy, smart play. Not only are you getting a developer, but a content creator and a very savvy one at that. I'm just saying, pretty smart move, KP.
Yes.
I'm saying. Others, feel free to jump in before we move on to the next subject.
Well, can I jump and Christian Peter, now that you're part of the team, I have to ask, you know, when?
Oh, your first wed.
Natty, for you.
When?
Thune, baby, Thune.
Oh,
there we go.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
KP, just remember us as you get more famous, okay?
Yeah,
remember that we were here with you.
Love you guys. Oh, by the way, too, Raph and Neindorf were awesome last week, and it just brought me back, Sarge, to your stream that we had with a lot of the same characters that are here right now. I mean, Brown Jen, Grady, Rock 808 was there, and you know, just so many community members. And I love making these streams with you guys because I look back on them from time to time, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a great episode that we did. So, Sarge, I always appreciate coming out whenever it's Friday night and I've got some time, baby. I'm here for you.
Let's take an impromptu question here from Emerson. Now that you're an insider, Christian, any hot takes on Clayton before we move on?
What's going on with Clayton, KP? Give us some juicy alpha.
Something.
So the Clayton Foundation, as you guys know, is kind of in flux. And what the team signed the agreement with Clayton, you know, it was for a pretty, you know, a nice sum of money at the time to move Serendale from the chain that shall not be named. And then, you know, once they got there, there was a lot of gaming partnerships and things that were set to be launched. But unfortunately, you know, things change. The new people that are in charge now have a pretty good idea that DFK is their bread and butter. And it's just like, okay, how can we form this partnership, continue to grow it, continue to, you know, nurture it. I know that it hasn't been the best for any of us, right? When it comes to the gaming side of it, the gas has been more expensive. You know, the the return is just not there. And unless you're out there summoning your Gen Zeros together like Nine-Dwarf, which I think a lot of us are, you go out there and you can summon your 2 heroes together for half price, take them over to Crystal Vale and sell them for a premium. So that's the only nice part to it. But there's going to be a lot more that comes out, and the game's being developed right now in 2 separate kind of ways. And right now, I think that the goal is to get the Clayton Foundation on board to possibly reform that grant proposal, because it was pretty steep for them. They weren't going to just say, okay, here's $1.5 million for you guys to keep building for the next year, but they're talking it over. They're going to figure out what makes sense for Clayton, what makes sense for DFK. And then, at some point it's going to be like, wow, this is great. Gas rebates are coming, all those things are going to happen. So it makes the chain a lot more usable, and it makes people want to do things on both sides, because right now, I mean, let's face it, guys, I don't do much, if anything, on Serendale. All of my quests and stuff happen on Crystal Vale. So I can't wait for that to change, though.
Maddie's ready to jump in.
Well, I'm a little frustrated because you're saying like that grant was like a lot for them to ask. I don't think it was whatsoever. I mean, they are the highest transaction for the Clayton network. Like, I think it was. Yeah, I mean, I think they beat everybody. I don't know if if it's actually true, but like they were number 1 in terms of like transactions on the Clayton network. It's DFK, and for DFK to then say like, hey, this is what we need to like function. Or not function, whatever. This is our proposal. This is like what we need. Like, that didn't seem high at all to me. It honestly seemed like Clayton wasn't respecting DFK enough. Like, I think, I don't know. I just feel like if you look at the numbers, DFK is like a huge percentage of the Clayton network. And I understand, and Christian, I'm not mad. I understand. We're just talking about it here, but like, I just feel like I think Clayton maybe needs to give DeFi Kingdoms a little bit more respect.
Well, and so here's okay. We've got Bull on in chat claiming this is mild takes. Let me spice it up a bit. If I'm not mistaken, I think we were all there was some contest or something. I forgot the exact details there, but there's 50,000 Clayton tokens, on the table for DFK to sort of pick up and do what they want with it. Here's a hot take for you, Bolon. Distribute those tokens amongst all the content creators in the castle. All in favor. Say aye.
Sarge, that's ridiculous. I mean, yes. I mean, I agree to that. Yes, but like, also shut up. No, I do want to talk about this. I think this is interesting in terms of, is the Clayton team not respecting DFK enough? I mean, obviously it's speculation, and I don't know for sure. Like, this proposal, it was kind of, it was upsetting, but like I think Clayton should be respecting DFK more. Is all I'm saying.
I wrote that up anyways.
I think everybody agrees to that, Maddie. I think that's a, I think that right now what they're trying to do is come up with a way that appeases both. And, it's not something that you can do, in a day. So it's going to take a little bit of time, and they'll come up with little baby steps. I mean, there's a lot that's going on that, it's one of those things where Clayton, you're right. I think you're 100% right. They don't understand how big of a deal DFK is, because with 10% of the heroes or whatever that are on Serendale right now, it's covering 60% of their daily gas. So yeah, can you imagine if that number was 50, 60, 70% of the heroes were on Serendale? Yeah, it'd be 99.9% of what Clayton's, transactions were happening. So I agree with you there. The question is, how do we make it so that it's a simpatico relationship where it's like, okay, let's have you guys help us build some things that are going to attract players to go over there and play. And how much is that going to cost? Okay, and how much time is it going to take? So I think that all those conversations are being had, and we'd all like them to go sooner rather than later. But it's in the works, and I don't want to say it's going to be too long, but you'll start to see that the partnership will get stronger over time. And I think that it's going to be beneficial too. It's like we've got to work out the kinks and do other things and make sure that things are happening. But the version 1 of Boar Hunts is going extremely well. Version 2 is going to be around the corner here, and then it's version 3, 4, and 5. And so as different things come out on different realms, it's going to lead to a lot more exposure, a lot more playing, a lot more transactions. So yeah, there will be a lot that happens here in the next couple of months. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Let's turn to another question here shortly.
You just drop in and just smack the lip, whoop-ah, drop down, snap, and then after that, you just drop in, just ride the barrel and get pitted, so pitted, like.
That's my DFK Boar Hunt Alpha. Grady, how many heroes? How many heroes do you have?
Who?
How many heroes do you have,
Me?
Grady? Yes.
It's somewhere around 2,000, give or take.
All right, KP.
So I haven't sold. I'm only selling my Gen 1s that I summon with my Gen 0s.
KP, how many heroes are you up to now?
4,300.
4,300. Right. Here's a hot take question for you. Floor heroes should never be more than $1.
Wait. You not gonna go through the rest of us, or
no? We're gonna go through it.
I don't know if I want to after those numbers.
No.
Yeah.
Well, because I know we've got some hero wells here among.
I mean, I'm proud of my number, but it's nowhere near those.
Oh, that's why we don't ask Matty Pest what your numbers are, because we know they're puny.
What, you got 69?
Yeah.
How many
bother
heroes do you have, and what do you think about me saying they should mostly all be no more than $1?
Okay, I'm gonna say two. I'm at 275. But move on. I don't want to talk about this.
You pass. Brown Jet heroes no more than $1. What do you think?
Sorry, I had to unmute. I don't know why we would peg at $1. Like my first hero that I bought was $500, and it's a floor hero. It was like a Gen 3 monk. Probably it was the cheapest thing on the tavern, and it was $500.
I remember those times.
Yeah. So like, you know what?
Barrier
like,
to entry.
Sorry.
No, barrier to entry. The one of the many complaints at the beginning was, hey, if I want to get into the game, I can't afford this shit.
Sergeant, let's be honest here. People were complaining that Jewel was too much at $20. Now people complain Jewel's low at 10 cents. What do they want? Like, let's be honest here. No one's gonna be happy. They will complain just because they got a mouth. Like, take the mouth away. Don't peg heroes. Like,
yeah.
And that's not even a bad. That's not even an extreme take. That's reality.
It's my old take. We'll let Bull on this side here in chat. Koopo, Sir Worm, KP takes.
No, I'm gonna have to agree with all those comments up there. I mean, you can't really just say like $1 for as much as like you say like a Gen 13 monk pirate gardener as opposed to like a mythic dread knight. I mean, there's like scales and stuff, and I like knowing, like you said, like the floor heroes and stuff underneath $1 and stuff like that. I can understand that, but I don't know. I still feel like there's stuff to grow on. I also spent a little over 500 for like my first character as well. So to hear something like that is like, I don't know. I kind of wanted to. It's never going to really reach that. At least if it is, it's not going to be for like a long time. But no, I feel that we should probably have like some boundaries. I like having a scale. I don't know if the $1 mark is exactly where I want it to be at. I mean, time will tell exactly how things all could have developed, but I think we can get a little bit more than the $1 ratio, personally.
Sir Worm, I'm disappointing. I'm disappointed here. I'm hearing pay to play is a thing, and crypto was not going to solve my pay to play concerns. I mean, what are your thoughts here?
I mean, I think I agree with mostly what's been said. Pegging it to $1, that's just an arbitrary number. But the new tokenomics that we have now, that we have Crystal, we have Jade, those are the tokens that run the price of heroes and not Jewel like it was before when we did have 500. I think that's a huge change for the better to keep prices lower for the gaming portion of DFK.
KP, I mean, I'm thinking here. You
disagree, Maddie?
I
mean, it's better than to Jewel.
No, I think it's an interesting point here, though. There's going to be people, and this is not a bad thing.
Right.
It might be viewed as negative. There's going to be people that come in with a huge wallet and buy good heroes.
Oh, yeah.
And they can compete, and they'll be at the top whether they have any skills at gaming or not. Like that's going to exist. That's going to be part. I mean, that's just part of gaming everywhere. no matter what. And so the idea that like that we should fight that, I don't think we should fight it. I think we should just accept that that's a part of the reality. Like there are going to be people that come in and buy heroes, and that's fine. I don't know.
Buy heroes, but not void shards.
I find
that's your thing.
Yeah.
On Tuesday.
So the interesting thing I find is that you said peg it to $1. I think that what you should look at is what is it compared to Crystal or Jade? Because when I bought my first hero, it was I think 120 Jewel, but Jewel at the time was $5. So it came out to $600, I guess USD, but it was only 120 Jewel. So when you look at it like that, I've always and I think I've told you guys this in the past. The best way to leverage anything is if you get an asset that's going up in the value of the currency itself. So we all know that Crystal's deflationary and Jade's deflationary. It's getting burned over time, and Jewel's deflationary. So why wouldn't you want to hedge that with things that are assets inside of that where you can just ride those up over that amount of time? So if you're really interested, it shouldn't be like, well, what's it? I think that a lot of people do like value their things, especially Gen Zeros, to a USD value, but value in terms of the actual currency that it's in. And Crystal keeps getting burned, you guys. I mean, I think that DFK Quester has that number now that's up. It's like a ton.
Is it over 6 million yet?
I'm like, wow, how much crystal? I mean, I know Grady and I were out there looking how many crystals were burned when people were doing the Gen Zero lottery, and that was a lot back then. So I mean, there's millions and millions of crystals that are no longer be around, and that value keeps getting lower every day. I'm excited about that.
25% burned of all these transactions every time.
And no one talks about it.
I've talked a lot about it to George.
No one but Grady talks about it. So no one likes pegging things to $1. Come on, guys.
So here's the thing. Sticks intern, you need to go tweet out Brown Gent's quote. It's the quote. And what did Bolan say there? It's the quote of the ages. I think he said something like that.
It is the quote of the ages.
Here's the deal. The lower the price goes of heroes, the fewer people that buy them, and the more the people get out of the game. The higher the price of the heroes go, the more people will buy them. In Africa, in the Philippines, it doesn't matter. If heroes, the floor of heroes go back up to if the floor of heroes are $1,000, we're gonna guess what's gonna happen. We're gonna have all kinds of players in the Philippines and in Africa and in Central America and South America playing the game. It's gonna go bonkers. That's just the way it is.
What? Yes, I suppose. Maybe I don't know. I'm thinking back to my first set of heroes, and those were overly priced.
You ponied up. You bought the heroes. That's what you did.
I did
because it was hot.
I think the question is the better question is there a price point that is good or bad for entry into the game?
Yes.
Right, and I think that's a hard question to answer, because hypothetically, if it's the ideal version of what we all want it to be, you can play this game in a million different ways. If you want to be a top TVP battler, it might be more expensive for you to enter into the game. If you want to be someone who collects things or who or crafts things, those price points might be a little bit easier, and that's kind of the beauty of it. But the idea of like the price point being, floor heroes being stuck at $1 or staying at $1 isn't really the question we need to be assessing. The question is, how do we create entry points for different people who want to play this game differently?
And that's fair. Brown Jen, I look at you. You're a trading card game guru. I'm not going to get into Pokemon cards and immediately want to buy a first edition Charizard because it's a good card, but it's not the card I want to start with.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get people to start in DFK without making barrier to entry, a nightmare?
I think there's two things. I was going to say something very similar to what Maddie said, which is you've got to think about different demographics, right? There are people who will buy at every price point, right? That's the fundamental economics, right? As the price goes up, You get fewer buyers, but there are buyers out there, right? So it comes down to sort of how do you like select, either tournament styles. So like, obviously if you're going up against, the top people who have like, I don't know, level 20 dreads, you're not going to win with a level 5 monk. Let's just be honest here, level 5 common, right? So you have to have different formats where things are not allowed. Like, for example, only common, only cards, or only basic common, only cards are allowed up to a certain level. I think ADFK, I think, did it very well, where like they had those tournaments where you had a max cap level. So your money could not just buy you the tournament, basically, right? That's a good way to do it. But I think the other part of the question is, how do you create a hook for people to actually want to play? How do you create a hook to justify the price point? And I think the hook right now is there. Like, the gore items are worth at minimum like $10 to $12 US. And you can win one of those every time you do a void hunt, right? Usually it takes like 50 to 75 to get it. But there's the allure of that. The reason people got sick and tired of, I haven't quested my heroes in forever. Why? Because I don't want to like open up an egg and say, oh great, I won 5 cents. Like, we're not even 5 cents, 2 cents. There's no thrill to that. Before, like, there was a thrill to opening up a $200 egg. So they found a way to make a hook. Questing, for me at least, is not a hook. I use an automation service, as you guys know, and most of you use it as well, to do some of that on your other heroes. The more hooks you have, the more reasons people come back. That's how YouTube works too, right? The way these things get pushed is YouTube looks at who is clicking on these thumbnails, who is staying on longer duration, right? If people aren't doing that, they're going to get off the platform, get off DeFi Kingdoms, go somewhere else. So our question should not just be like entry point, but how do we create a compelling reason for someone to come to DFK and come back repeatedly? Anyways.
Bingo. No, that's key. And I wanna connect with you, Kupo and Sir Worm. I think you guys are good representatives of the community. Kupo, you're very in tune with, Gen Chat in general, right? And I know you and I go back, and you were, I think you were part of that crew. It was like, you buried your entry. I want to buy more heroes, but I can only afford 3, right? I mean, how, think back to that, Kupo. And maybe $1 is a crazy amount, right? But don't you want something that keeps you, maybe that intrigues you, that draws you into the game, and maybe one day you buy that Mythic Dread Knight.
Yeah, so you're right about that. I joined when the heroes were super expensive. Perilous Journey was just a few months away, and I was like, I've got 6 heroes. They're all common. They're all like level 4. They're all going to die. So I didn't even want to participate with that, because I was like, that's multiple K. I'd just be flushing down the toilet. So I can understand why you think about like the whole like dollar peg. There's been a couple ideas that I've been trying to like sketch up that I was going to eventually put into like the suggestion box for DFK. One of them was actually going to be something on the lines of like a non-tradable starter hero. I mean, like, there's a lot of RPGs and MMOs that kind of give you like this like basic junky, nothing out of the ordinary type of like starter characters and stuff like that eventually you grow on, and then they're eventually like left in like your Pokebox or whatever game that you're playing with, so I was always thinking, like, what if they gave a chance to have like one non-tradable like common hero of the basic classes being given out, just so people can be like, hey, here's how you can get yourself started with just a basic hero that really can't do much else. You can't trade it. It's just like a one-time lock type of situation, just to kind of get people like started, as opposed to like your dollar idea. I mean, you got your thoughts and you got your comments, you got your own opinions there. But something like this, I don't know if anybody else has like an opinion on something like that.
Grady, do you have opinions?
I think that's great. Next.
I love it.
I also think that's great. I think the team has worked on that as like an opening, like a sign-in package.
Yeah,
like
yep.
here's
let's get your first hero prepared.
Right, right. They've talked about doing something like that. It's obviously super hard with NFTs and ownership to have a kind of generic hero,
like 0 summons, 0 ability to be dark summoned, something like that. Make it with restrictions.
Yeah, where they don't get much loot, maybe.
It would have to be a shitty fucking hero.
Yeah, get yourself a Pidgey. Just sort of like say,
sure,
hey, get started. Here's what you go with.
Yeah.
Throw to the box forever once you start getting real heroes.
Who said get yourself a Pidgey? Because that's pretty funny.
That's kind of
make all their questing get 1/10 the amount of
Yeah,
items.
exactly.
Yeah, something like that.
Terrible.
You know, something so people are like, oh, I'm just gonna want to just keep re-rolling thousands of like wallets just to see if I get a better hero.
Yeah.
No, because no matter what you get, they're only gonna be like maybe like 1/5 their effectiveness or whatever. So whatever.
Sir Worm, I'll give you last word before we move on.
What they said.
Yeah,
we can. Yeah, I mean, it's been that. Yeah, it'd be great if we could do some sort of starter pack, but it is difficult because of NFTs are unique. But yeah, if they could, if we could do that, that would be great. Anything to get people started and wanting more. I'm all for.
Hey, Sticks intern, work on making that a quotable quote. What they said.
And apparently, I've never been on live television before.
All right, let's talk about sort of, I guess, going off of the conversation we just had. I'm not worried about the Matty Pask, about the Wowies, about the France, of the world, Bob Nothings. You guys are going to be good. Brown Jen, you guys are going to be good. I think about the Crypto Grady's, about the Me's, about the Starbucks. Wait, I got a chat from Star. He said, "Go fuck yourself." Okay, not the Starbucks Grady. I think about me. We're not gamers. We're not gamers, and we like playing games, but we're not gamers. You guys are gamers. Every one of you here, KP, Sir Worm, Kupo, Grady, and I came here for friends. You guys are some expensive ass friends. But how do we make the game inviting enough for the casual gamer? The person who wants to just jump in for a few minutes, kill some time, and DFK can be complicated. If you listen to George's recent stream, it's a complicated. I think if any one of us, right, if you really want to be successful at DFK today, plugging KP here. If you want to be successful at DFK today, you've got to be pretty on top. I was at the meetup with KP and Bolon, and I think Bolon asked me, "Hey, have you tried Warriors yet?" And my response to him was, "No, not yet, because Wowie hasn't told me how to play with Warriors yet." What do you do for your casual?
I have so many problems with that.
I do what Wowie tells me to do. Grady, I'll start with you. How do you bring the casual gamer into DFK?
Well, what brought him in the first time? When there's 55,000 daily active users at the height. Mad gains. So when the heroes are profitable, there's crafting. Someone mentioned crafting, all these different aspects to the game. It's like a hook and bait. The bait, it brings them in. And some people might not want to be, it's like esport level. They might not want to be pros at it. It's that way with a lot of different games. There's a lot of different games where, there's more, that people will find their ways to make money. Maybe they're trying to craft swords and they sell them. They'll feel there's so many different aspects to the game where I think people can come in, they can degen their way through it, and then and as they do that, some people, like even a guy like me, who's, you're right, isn't a big gaming guru, but as I get into it and get more into it and months go by, and then I'm like, get hooked. And then I do want to master it, single focused, and get all into it, and that happens. That's how I got into it. First, you started with the pools, providing liquidity on the decks, and then bought my first hero, and then the rest is history. 2,000 heroes, baby.
Bolon says RPGs are complicated, and they are, but when I played D&D, I had a really fun time going wild magic on my enemies here. Where's my wild magic, Maddie? How am I gonna, as a button smasher, how am I gonna get my fix out of DFK?
Okay, that's I could I could do an entire fucking podcast about why you're so wrong about everything you've just said. But here's the thing.
That's a good plug. I'll see you Tuesday.
Here's the thing that's super interesting. I think, it isn't a complete thing and isn't a total finished product. But the idea of like showing these like little parts right now, or not, I shouldn't say little parts, but like the boar hunt right now is such an awesome sort of way to like look at it and be like, oh man, what they're building is like exactly what I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to play a game where I can build the team and then use the aspects of those heroes to like beat the enemy. You know, I think like right now, I think the team has been straightforward about this. Is like, this is not the finished product. This is just like a cool version of like what it could be, you know? And so I think to get gamers interested, I think this is the best way to do it, is because like it's easy, it's accessible to get in, and like, yeah, there's like they did the free version. There's like a free version of like playing the thing, but then like once you actually have heroes, you can actually get in and do it. And I think it's going to be hard. I'm not saying this is it, like we got it, everybody jump in. Like there's a long road ahead, and I think they're doing a very good job of like trying to get those gamers who are interested or who might be interested to join in, because there's a long way ahead, because it's not there yet. And I don't think I'm saying anything crazy of like it's not there yet. Like that's not a crazy statement. Everybody agrees with that. But like this is the first version of it, and I think this is the first way to get like super hardcore gamers who know what this world is, who know how it works, and who know like you're not going to get your like the casual gamer who plays Call of Duty is not going to be playing this right now. Is not going to be doing boar hunts, and that's fine. Like that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the people who are like in the world, who are aware, to get involved. And so I think what they're doing is perfect.
What I heard, for those of you out there, what I heard is he's in favor of bringing back those high APRs.
What? What?
He wants another in-game token. I love it, Maddie. I'm just messing. Brown Gent, you're a ninja. You're a cool dude by day. By night, you're a super nerd. How do you bridge both worlds together, man? How are you gonna bring in the average Joe into, an RPG realm, an RPG game? How do you do that?
So I'll be honest here. I'm not actually a gamer. Like I'm only good at Magic because I played it for so long with a ton of friends. But that sort of makes me
That makes you a gamer.
Right, but I think I can give some sort of advice on like what I think works and what doesn't. I think for someone like me, you got to lower the learning curve. You come in, there's a billion things coming at you. You got either you get overwhelmed or you have somebody guide you through it. I think Grady onboarded a ton of people. Grady, this wasn't like a 5-minute thing. You had to sit with people, walk them through it, hold their hand. And there's not a billion Grady's as much as we wish there were to help every single person on board, right? So, none of I don't read instructions. I don't know if you guys do. Like I bought this wallet. I've been sitting here fiddling with it, trying to figure out how to make it work for the last 3 hours prior to the stream. But guess what? There's a manual here, and you know what? Like it's right here. And I'm not going to read it. I'm not because I'm not that. A lot of us are experience based, right?
Yeah.
If you ever play the first Mario. Like you learn how to play the game while you're playing it. Like the first level is really like a tutorial per se. And I think that for those people who are coming into this game, I don't count the gardens as a game. Let's be straight here. Those pools are not a game. That was incentive to get liquidity. We got to separate this, right? We can call it part of the game if you want to, but I don't think that's part of the actual game when this whole thing is launched. We got to sort of make it easy for people to join. So what does that mean? Taking all the crypto related stuff as much out of the front end for them. So the moves with Holiday, right? Making it so you can log in with your Google account. Boom. That's one barrier gone. You don't just sit there and worry about what MetaMask is. Oh, what? I need to have a seed phrase. I got to know what this token is. I got to know what a DEX is. I got to know how to swap these things. All of these things are just layers on top of layers, right? For a casual gamer. And then when we get in the game, like, let's just imagine there's nothing else but the void hunts, right? Like exactly the screen you got here. I like this interface. Why? Because it's very simple. It reminds me of like Pokemon. It reminds me of Super Mario RPG. But you know what's hard to do? When I go in and select abilities, and it's like telling me, oh, this thing does damage equal to the square root of 45 times attack the power of 2 times.
What's the formula, Brown Jet? What's the formula?
Well, just tell me what the number is. Like, put the formula right there, but tell me what the damn number is. So I don't need to sit there and figure it out because I actually have no idea. Just go in there and you know what? I'm going to select it and see how it goes. The more you can make it so somebody doesn't have to be a genius. Like when I listen to WoW, talk about the moves, I'm like, this is way too complicated.
I gotta push back here. When you're in game, they give you the numbers. They give you the numbers when you're in.
They give you
the actual
numbers
war
after
hunt.
you select it, but not when you select it. You know what I'm saying? That's an example.
You read? Maddie, you reading?
Maddie, I wish you were as right as you are passionate about this.
Oh, hot take. I love it. Push back,
You know?
Maddie.
Like, all I'm saying is, like, it works for people like you and people like Wowie who love the complexity, right? I hear you guys talk about it all the time. But for someone like me, it actually turns me away from it. I'll just be honest.
I understand that, but like also if you take like I don't know, I feel like if you actually the interface that they produce like in the actual game, I feel like, and actually when you're all right, fair. I think there could be more pre-game information that I would like, because once you're in the actual board hunt, all the information is there.
100%.
But pre-game, it could be better.
Yeah, I mean, the in-game interface is fantastic because
yeah.
A lot of the casual gamers do. I used to go to the dentist, and while waiting an hour and a half because my dentist was incompetent, I'd be sick because they couldn't arrange their schedule. I'm sitting there playing Super Mario RPG. Never got past like the first little bit because the appointment started. But I'm used to playing those RPG games, right? Pokemon and whatever. This is very similar. So there's a lot of familiarity. And I think casual gamers are like people who do that, Mario Kart, Pokemon, Super Mario Brothers, not people who are like super in-depth into every like sort of nook and cranny and want to like analyze the numbers and like.
Also it's tough because like the board hunt is a very specific version of it. It's not the full like game that's going to be.
I know, but it's the only example I have right now. Right? That's the only reason I use it.
Sir Worm, how are we gonna get the average? I'm laughing at my words that are gonna come out of my mouth. How are we gonna get the average Candy Crush player to come onto DFK? Not gonna happen, but I have to put it out there, right?
That's an insane question.
I want to trigger Maddie.
like fuck off.
I don't know that you will. I mean, you probably want. Let's see if we can get the RPG people. I mean, those are the ones you're probably going to appeal to the most, and it's got to be very accessible via mobile if you want that type of crowd. Not to say what DFK does or doesn't, but if you do, it's got to be.
No, sorry, I'm jumping in here. Sir Worm, I want your opinion on the current version of board hunts. Like, do you think the current, like, what do you think of the current version of board hunts? You have a lot of heroes.
The current version of board
you also take a lot of time to summon heroes that are specific for combat. So what is your current opinion on board hunts? And do you think it's, I mean, like, what do you think it's sufficient to like how you should be building our heroes, or in general, or do you think it's like maybe just like a something that's a one-off
thing? Like, it's hard to tell, to be honest. It's a one-off. Right now, it's a one-off game, so you don't know if this is going to be more of the same, and the build that you put it for boar hunts is the same for what you need for the whole long campaign. I don't know, but that's part of the fun.
Are you changing how you summon because of it?
I am not.
No, you're not.
I summon all over the place. Like I'm doing, I'm not specific. I do put the heroes of 10 plus of the 4 classes doing boar hunts, yes. Am I specifically trying to get better heroes for boar hunts? Not necessarily, but I have enough heroes that's not really a big deal for me. It may be, but if you have like 10 heroes or 20 heroes, then yeah, then that's totally different. But I'm not in that position currently. But I could see that being an issue where people would do that, and it's a more of a leap of faith kind of thing. Who knows?
Well, and this is open to especially Grady. I do want to hear your opinion on this. Has boar hunts changed how you think about your heroes at all?
Oh.
So here's the deal with me. I haven't. You guys are gonna start.
What's the deal with Grady?
Get your stones. You're gonna start throwing them because I haven't done a single boar hunt yet.
That's
what?
it.
Wow.
Grady,
Wow.
Grady, you're fired. Grady, you're fired.
Just kicked him
You're
out.
fired.
I watched y'all streams on it. Life's been crazy.
I
mean, I haven't even been. Sometimes, like, there's been times where weeks go by and I don't even summon my Gen Zeros.
But that's an interesting.
I get it.
But that's interesting, though, right? KP. I mean, I personally not, boar hunt as much as I've wanted to. Not because I can't. Well, I guess no. It comes down to because I can't because I'm busy. But I mean. It takes you can't just toss a team and put them in there. I mean, you got to be pretty strategic if you want to win. You got to be pretty strategic about what team you put out there. I mean, how are we bridging the gap? Your average Joe is not going to be able to assemble a team without watching, any one of us for hours on end.
Yeah, and I agree with like a lot of what's already been said. I think that this is never going to be a Candy Crush game that people get excited to come into DFK, but I do know that for the people that are here and the people that are probably watching the stream and the people that we know, this game really appeals to them. And the reason why is that it's a lot of fantasy involved. And, we have this amazing big brain in the background, Hubert, right? Who's our dungeon master. And we're all starting off at this weird place that we don't know anything about. And he continues to create this amazing realm around us as we're going. And this is just the beginning, like you guys said. And, I talked to Raph and Neindorf about this on stream. I played D&D back in the day and I loved it. But one of the things that I didn't remember until I started to think back is that we had miniatures. We had those little pewter miniature characters, right? And some people were really good and they could paint them and they made them look incredibly awesome. And they spent all their time making their miniatures look really cool. And I'm like, well, we have these really cool in-game heroes that people can collect and they can itemize them and they can put things on them. They can make them look really cool. And that might be the only thing that they do, right? That they might not ever go into a fight. They might not care about battle. They might not care about crafting. They might not care about anything. They just have a really cool hero or pet or whatever that they just love more than anything else, and that's all they want to do. So I don't think that we can say like, oh yeah, we want to attract this kind of person or that kind of person, or these people are the ones that we like and these ones aren't. There's going to be all kinds of things that happen along the way, and all I'm looking forward to right now is like, how is this game going to be built out so that we all have fun? We're talking about it a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. And that's kind of the goal here is like, we don't know where it's going to go. We're here just like, we're in this very beginning of this ride. And it's interesting to see because everybody has their own idea of where they think we should be going, but really nobody knows. I mean, we're just coming out of this. And can you imagine if we were in a bull run right now and there was 20 developers? And Dreamer talked to me about this. Can you imagine if there was a new hunt coming out every week and, there was just different things that were happening all the time? We're not there yet, but we could be really soon where all these things just happen and they attract a ton of more people. And I was really interested to talk to Two Noobs who's down in Thailand. And he's like, he does esports commentary in Thai. And he's like, we love role-playing games, turn-based role-playing games. All these Thai people love playing. I was like, really? Okay, I didn't know that. So I just don't think we know where this is going, but it's going in the right direction so far.
I'll give Kupo closing remarks here, but before then, Bolon, learn how combat works. I've got a response for you, bud. My response to you is
these nuts. Got him!
There you go.
Sarge is so happy with his soundboard.
Yes, yes.
I love that soundboard.
And before I continue, Maddie, we're kindred spirits. You're drinking. What are you drinking?
Well, I have a mixed pack of Stone IPA. This one's one of the heavier ones, but Stone IPA.
I am also drinking Stone.
Really?
We are, yes. Hey, I'm just saying, if ever you come to San Diego, I'll leave it at that. Kupo.
Come to fucking whatever. Sorry.
Kupo, your thoughts? Just any final remarks based on everything that's been said?
Wait, stop. Can I interrupt here?
No. Yes.
Kupo is an official knight, right? Right? You have an official position.
You've been knighted. Bolon, knight the man.
Kupo, right?
No, you're thinking Cujo.
Yeah, Cujo.
Those are two different people. Those are two different people.
I confuse you two ambassadors all the time.
Holy shit, that's insane.
Let me give Maddie
Holy
Pest a
shit.
hard time now. Now it's my time to shine, Maddie.
Fine.
Bro,
Yes, I'm an idiot. Great.
Come on, bro.
Those are two different people. Oh my! I apologize.
He's not sorry, Koopa. Final remarks.
Oh my god, I had everything like planned in my head, and that kind of just threw me off. Oh no! So
don't join this stream with me then.
Maybe. But there's just so much happening in like the DFK verse and the crypto world right now. We got the holidays coming up. Next year's an election year. I'm just like very excited to see what direction everything's gonna be going. I'm very happy with like the void hunts personally, despite the math. I'm actually one of those people that actually figure all that stuff out myself. Like on a pen and paper, like, oh, is this character good? Let me do that one. Nope, that one. So I mean, I'm just very happy with everything that's been going on in like the DFK verse. I like that we got some more like holiday-based themed things coming out. So it's a good start. It's a good direction. I know whenever I used to play my MMOs, I used to always big and harp on those like holiday gear items. So even a 10% drop rate for those frosted snowman helmets, I still want to like go gung-ho for those things. So there's a lot of attraction there. That in its own sense is sort of like an advertisement to itself. I like what the DFK team is doing as far as like going on to X and trying to get on new platforms. The way that the team is developed. I like how KP is now part of the main crew. It's beautiful. Still, congratulations to that, KP. Wonderful. Crypto Grady. Again, I am like so thrilled that like everything you're doing. I'm basically like just soaking it up. Every time you post something, like I got to see what this man's got going on over here. Worm, again, keep up with those beautiful giveaways. I mean, everybody, I'm just always following what you guys do. And always like to be part of a community. Always trying to get that extra ear out and just hear what everybody has to say and just put it all together and just put it into perspective. So to everything that's been going on, I'm loving it.
I'm gonna sneak in one last question, and I think it'll be the question of the night before we get plastered and drink off stream and talk shit about shit that needs to be talked about. So let's cue the segue.
Matters. Check it out.
A beaver, one of the family that lives here in this lake.
Sarge, what is wrong with you, Sarge? I'm never doing this again. You're an insane person. What is wrong with you?
You leave for a minute, madness happens.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You're an insane person.
I'm gonna tease it out, but I'm gonna let Brown Gent sort of maybe expand.
What
on
was
it.
that?
That was magic. You want to see more? How long have you been gone? Here, how long have you been gone, Maddie?
I don't know. I don't know.
I want answers, and I want them now.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Maddie. I've got more. Brown Gent, I'll tease it out, but I'll let you maybe expand on it because it was truly came out of a conversation we were having. I think I've sort of shared that we have a content creator Discord. We have a super secret OG. It was a bunch of people who went through 3x3 and that Discord still lives. But you brought up an interesting concept, and I want to hear us talk about it. hot question, Bolon. Does DFK need to rebrand away from DeFi? Brown Jen, I'll start with you, and maybe you can expand a bit more as to how that conversation even gets started behind the scenes.
Sure. So basically, DeFi Mon's rebranded to like some weird name. Now, I did see Six Interns comment that they were probably doing it for lawsuit reasons. Apparently, it wasn't anything to do with that because they're still using Mons for their like creatures or whatever they call it. But basically, it was to remove away from DeFi because DeFi had a ton of negative press in the last bull run, and the person's put a ton of work in, and he doesn't want this to be associated at all with Web3, DeFi, and whatever, right? Whether or not, they say what it is, right? They did that. All of a sudden, all their assets just skyrocketed. You saw, like, I bought like a large apartment or whatever in the game for like 1.13 ETH, and it went to like 0.4 ETH. Like everything just tripled overnight. I was talking to Eric David Tepet. I got him to buy a bunch of properties. He made a couple ETH on it too, right? This was like a great time to cash out. But does that change anything about the game? I don't think so. I don't think it changes anything but the impression. I think it makes the owner feel a little better. So is a rebrand needed for DeFi Kingdoms? I don't know. Look, I actually like the name DeFi Kingdoms a lot. I don't know what you would change it to. Like, I know they say Command Your Legions. That doesn't really like roll off the tongue the same way DeFi Kingdoms does. And I also think like if we rebrand now, we actually are almost like we're trying to hide something when we have nothing to be ashamed of. We've gone through the depths of the bear market and we came out the other side, right? Like I think June or May of 22 was probably the time when everyone was the most fearful, right? When all that stuff had happened, the stuff that got referenced by Zach XBT. But we've come out the other side. So now that we're winning and now that everyone sort of is looking at us and sort of seeing what's happened, they know the team's been here building in the bear market. Why would we want to disassociate from that name now? I personally don't think we need a rebrand. But that's just me.
Oh, well, for those of you in the chat, I'm just going to play devil's advocate. No, we need a rebrand. We need to rebrand away from DeFi because we are a game after all. We want to move away from DeFi if we want to be taken serious in the game, in the Web3 GameFi space. We want to be a serious, we need a name, right? So Grady, what you're nodding your head.
Hell no.
No, hell no. Okay,
exactly what Bolon said in the chat. There's so much name recognition is huge for DeFi Kingdoms. One. Number two, decentralized finance is crucial in our world. It's crypto. We want to be decentralized. We don't want centralized. You got to have what's called a DEX, a decentralized exchange that requires liquidity. That's how this works. That's what makes, that's like the foundation here. So hell no, DeFi Kingdoms is fine. Do not rebrand. That's a big fat hell no.
We've got Light here who, the comments are, I can't catch up. If you're not proud of DFK, get the heck out of here. I'm sure that's what that means. CFI Kingdoms is what Bolon's saying. Sir Worm, DFK, rebrand, keep the DeFi and DFK. Does that, how do you feel about that?
I think when Grady said it's central to, it's not just a game. We're here. A lot of people are here, especially myself, are here mostly for the game versus the DeFi part of it. But the DeFi is central to it. DeFi is what started it, and the team doesn't have any desire to get rid or can't get rid of the DeFi side of it. So you got to own it, and the branding's already there. So no, that would be a wrong move. Maybe promote DFK, maybe just say DFK more, but
Koopa, why would anyone mess with their brand? Shout out to X, formerly known as Twitter. Koopa, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna have to agree with just about everybody here. Keep the DFK name, keep it what it is. We got our roots. As Bolin was even talking about in the chat there, not all of our publicity has always been like good, but it's out there. We're very well known for what we are, and I like to just keep what it is. It rolls off the tongue very well. It sounds awesome. It sounds attractive. It's like engaging, and I honestly feel that we should not even think about a rebrand because, like you guys were saying, we got nothing to hide. It would only just like look like we're just trying to hide something if we did try to rebrand it also. So no, I'm gonna have to say keep the DFK name.
That's pretty funny, Brownjan. I love it. Your comment. Yeah. Rebrand and buy all of Light's Heroes. Maddie, did I pick your brain already? Did I pick your brain on this one? Rebrand, yes, no?
This is a fucking insane statement. Why would we ever do that right now?
Why not?
Because what? No, that is ridiculous. It would no.
We might trick the fudders into thinking DFK was.
No, that is insane. That is insane.
DFK.
I hate you for even suggesting it. That's ridiculous. Are you kidding me? Anything we've earned right now is because they've been fucking pushing through. Because they've been pushing through this whole time, pushing through the whole time. If you rebrand right now, it makes it seem like they're ashamed of what they've done in the past. That's ridiculous. Yeah, we're never gonna rebrand. That's insane.
Listen, from a merch perspective, you'd have to buy.
Listen, it's DeFi Kingdoms. If you want to make it seem like DeFi Kingdoms, we're the cool kids. Like, now we do skateboarding and we do like cool stuff now. Like, whatever, that's fine. Like, you could change the marketing, but like changing the name and changing like the core aspect of it, like, no, it's ridiculous. It's never gonna happen.
Listen, we need we need.
What was the Simpsons character? Like the dog character that they made a joke about it. Like the fuck, I forget the name of it now. But like
the one that was played by Homer, right?
Right. They were like, yeah, we're gonna introduce a new character and it's gonna be different and cool. It's like people can tell when you're faking that. Like it never works when you're like, hey, we're new and we're extreme now. And like that like rebranding never works like that. Like everyone can tell you're faking it. So like
I'm gonna call it out here, Maddie. You don't want to change your shirt. I mean, is there any truth to that?
No.
Not
what?
today.
Yeah.
You're wearing a DFK shirt. You don't. That's why you're so adamant against.
Sure. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I'm all in. Sure. You got me.
Got him.
You got. Yeah. You got me. Yeah.
We got him. KP. We'll end with you. You're repping DFK. I mean, how do you feel about a name change? There is truth to what's
Sorry.
To what was said, right? DeFi does maybe it has a negative connotation.
There's only one thing for DFK to do, and that's rebrand to Twitter.
Yes.
People come, they can be like, I'm going on Twitter. You mean DFK? No, I mean X. I mean, oh no, what am I doing? Tweeting? No, reposting. No, am I in the X space? No, I'm in a DF. Oh So no, I mean DFK is DFK, baby. I mean it's gonna stay. It's the best. They've got it. We're making our way through this. It's almost there. I mean, people are gonna go back. They're gonna say like DeFi Kingdoms. Yeah, I want to be in DeFi Kingdoms. That game's been around for a while. Yeah, they've been building. They've been putting shit together. So I mean, it's like you don't want to mess with that. Just keep it going. Keep it on the path. Keep your vision going. It's almost there. I mean, Grady and I have been coming on and saying, just keep it going. Make your way through it, baby. We're almost there. You can see it. It's there. It's right. 2024, 30 days from now. Oh my gosh, we're there. Okay.
Baby.
Hold on, stop it. What if we become DeFi months? Boy, oh boy. Well, we didn't get to a few questions, including speaking of rebrands, Mythic Squad, Mythic Swap, you got the two are interchangeable. We'll leave it for next time, but my next question would have been any thoughts on who's eligible for Mythic Swap rewards. Tease that one out. We'll talk about it on the next stream. Who knows? Maybe we have these same Fulios on for the next one. Yeah. Grady, sign us off. Give us some words.
I do have a couple things to end us off with here. First, I just looked at how much crystals burned. It's up over 7.1 million crystal burned. Just imagine if all the summoning was done on DFK chain.
Oh.
It's like, I don't know how much jade is burned, but it's got to be a lot because all the summoning. 25% of every single fee ever used is burned. Okay. Number 2, I'm going to be going live soon with Crypto Crow, talking DeFi, like holding his hand through
tonight
ABCs soon. I don't know when, because he's like he's tough to pin down. He doesn't like to schedule.
Sure.
He's emotional. He's not your reliable scheduler type guy at all, but he's really gifted. He's got a strong following. When I do that, I'm hoping to be able to get, because it's going to be like Dreamer. You got to be on call. I'm hoping to get Dreamer on there. It'll be great. Well, it'll have an IFC theme, the 3 of us fighting. And then, but it's going to like hold his hand walking through DeFi Kingdoms. It'll be streamed on his channel and mine at the same time. So, and maybe somebody else, who knows? So that's going to be big. That's going to be a whole fresh community right there. So, and there's other possible things in the works there, by the way. Dreamer has been talking with Crow. Okay. So you never know what could happen. And
Grady,
I think that's going to be big, baby.
Grady, the next time I talk to you, please lie to me and tell me you've played at least one boar hunt. I don't need it to be true. Just lie to me. Lie to all of us.
I'll do a stream with Kong and whoever else can come on, and we'll do some boar hunts, baby.
Teach George how to boar hunt. That's all I'm saying.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying.
That'd be fun.
Wait a minute.
The building is on fire.
Baby.
Right. We'll catch you on next time. Love you all. Thank you. Somehow we convinced 34 people to join us today.
Ooh.
I appreciate the comments in chat, but comment here down below. For Brown Gent, Maddie, Pest, Kupo, Sir Worm, KP, Grady, and myself, it's been fun. We'll catch you all next time.
Baby, Bolon, if Dreamer's not available, I'm gonna be hitting you up, Bolon.
Bolon.
Bolon.